Stewardship has become a dominant theme expressing how many Christians understand their responsibility towards the earth. Where does this idea come from? What's the source of the view that humans might be called to be stewards of the earth? The most influential and important source is the Bible, and in particular the first two chapters of the book of Genesis, which is the first book in the Christian Bible and also the first book in the Jewish law or Torah. In these chapters there are two accounts of the creation of the world, two accounts that vary in quite significant details. It's interesting to look at them side by side and think about the different ways in which they present the story of God making the world. In Genesis chapter 1, God creates the heavens and the earth, separating light from dark and water from land. God makes living creatures and, finally, creates humanity as a kind of pinnacle of the process of creation. In Genesis 2, the human appears on the scene much nearer the beginning. Then all the animals emerge as the story continues. It's from these texts in particular that we get the ideas about stewardship. In Genesis 1, verses 26 to 28, God is recorded as speaking and giving humanity a vocation or task. They are made in the image of God and told to subdue the earth and to have dominion over it. In Genesis 2, the first human is set in a garden, presented as a kind of gardener and given a responsibility to till and keep the earth. It's these ideas, and in particular the idea about having dominion, that have been the basis from which the idea of stewardship of creation has emerged. It's important to appreciate, though, that the term steward or stewardship doesn't exactly or explicitly appear in these texts. It's a question of how people have understood and interpreted the particular Hebrew words that are translated subdue, have dominion, till, and keep, and so on. Some Christians argue that the kind of dominion humans should exercise must be a caring, compassionate form of stewardship, because it is meant to copy God's benevolent kingly rule. But the words are open to a range of meanings, and it's important to realise that there's a process of interpretation going on when people talk about stewardship as the form of ethical responsibility that is taught by texts like these. What do you think is implied by the command to subdue the earth and have dominion over it?